I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Ty, what is not to love about riding motorcycles? Well, you actually have a good point, but I still want to talk about it. Stick around. Hey everyone, my name is Ty and welcome to the channel. I appreciate you joining me today. So I am out and about cruising around on my 2023 Harley Davidson Road Glide Special 120th Anniversary Edition. Just picked up this motorcycle and I'm trying to get a few more miles in. I'm about to take a big trip and trying to get a few miles in and get a little more comfortable, a little more at ease with the old shark nose. And so far I am loving it. Absolutely loving it. All right, so let's talk about some things when it comes to riding motorcycles that maybe are my least favorite things. Maybe there's some of your least favorite things. Maybe I'm just way off base. But let's talk about a couple of the topics at hand. The first thing that I can think of is cost. You know, owning a Harley Davidson, for the most part, I'm not saying exclusively, for the most part, it's not cheap. It's not an inexpensive hobby that we have here. You know, once you add in the cost of owning a motorcycle and all the upgrades and everything else that you want to do, it gets a little expensive, no doubt about it. So shelling out all the money to own a motorcycle, it is a necessity, but man, sometimes it just plain stinks. You know, I gotta be honest with you, I would not consider myself a fair weather rider, but riding in pleasant weather conditions just makes the experience so much more enjoyable. You know, I mean, our winter times here, they get cold, but not unbearable until the very end when you're just sick of being cold. You know, not like my friends up north, that's for sure, dealing with all the snow and the ice and everything you guys put up with. But, you know, riding in the cold sometimes sucks. Riding in the rain sometimes sucks. I mean, I'll ride in the cold, I'll ride in the rain, but, you know, that sweet spot, and you know what I'm talking about. I know you know what I'm talking about if you ride motorcycles enough. That sweet spot of, I don't know, 70, 80 degrees, something like that, just makes the experience fantastic. Maybe you can go out in a short sleeve shirt or something like that, or, you know, like today it's very pleasant, almost 65 degrees, and it feels great. So weather can be a big factor in making your motorcycle riding experience more enjoyable or less. All right, y'all, here is a big pet peeve of mine, and I'm willing to bet it is many of you others out there too, and that's having to share the road with cagers. Some of the stuff that I see these guys do, whether I'm on the bike or in my truck or whatever else, is just bewildering. The things that people do and get away with, it's crazy. So if I can get out and go for a ride, I want to be out on the back road, something like this, where there's just not a lot of traffic. I do not like to do like downtown city riding, that type of thing. Man, when it comes to being on my motorcycle, I will do my best to stay away from overpopulated areas that way. I just don't like it. It makes me nervous. It makes me very nervous. And I've got my own reasons for that, which I'm not going to go into at the moment, but I've got my own reasons. And so sometimes cagers can take away the riding experience, and that's for sure. One of the other main things that I think of, oh my gosh, this gets on my nerves so bad, y'all, is, what happened here? There we go. This gets on my nerves so bad, and that is people, once they find out that you ride motorcycles, well, they want to tell you about everybody they know, their brother's sister's mother's cousin, that you know, got hurt or died in a motorcycle accident. Now, they don't tell you details like, you know, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, he was riding a little motorcycle, he was hammered and he wasn't wearing a helmet. They just want to tell you about all the gory injuries and how he got both his arms ripped off. You know, it's just crazy to me. And if you ride, I know you get it. If you ride and you want to share stories like that, go ahead. As far as I'm concerned, you take the risk, like the rest of us. But there's so many people out there that have no clue what they're talking about, and that really gets on my nerves. Really gets on my nerves. But you know, what are you going to do? It is the world we live in, and we have to put up with it. But it did make my list. Now, some motorcyclists battle this problem. My fellow YouTubers definitely battle this problem, and that's when you start integrating all of this technology along with riding your motorcycles. Man, sometimes it's really just a pain, because it takes me a while to get everything ready before I, you know, head out and jump on the bike. Like, just for example, today I've got the camera on my helmet, the camera on my fairing, and then I've got this 360 camera over here on my right side, just trying it out to see what I get. Maybe you'll see the footage of it, maybe you won't, depending on how it looks in post. But anyway, getting all of those things together to go out for a ride, and then if you're out in the middle of a ride and you have a camera failure and you're having to, you know, tinker around with it and everybody else is waiting on you, that sucks. That sucks. But when you do get the footage and you're able to edit that and make a great video, ooh, yeah, it makes it all worthwhile. Love it. And really, the last thing that I put on my list, and this one's kind of a stretch, I had to think about it, really think about it, but it's a sore booty, right? I mean, everybody gets a little sore when you go on long rides, no matter what. You know, I mean, everybody's butt gets a little sore, your shoulders will get sore, your arm gets sore, and that's not a lot of fun. But man, once you complete a long ride and you've got the stories to tell and how, you know, you pushed on through and, you know, got the miles in and those type of things, it makes for a good story. I think that's what I was shooting for, is sometimes being the most miserable. Let's just change that from being a sore booty. Let's just say being miserable. Being miserable on a ride sometimes makes for the best stories. Getting caught out in a rain, caught out in a storm, getting stranded because of mechanical issues. All those things make for a great story to tell when you're out with your buddies. Well, thank you very much for your time on this video today. And I'll tell you what, in the comments below, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you if you agree, if you disagree with any of these, or if you have a list of your own, please post it down in the comments below. Let's talk about it. I would love to be able to hear it. I'm going to share another video somewhere up here for you guys to check out. I hope you have an excellent day. We'll talk to you again soon.